about this team. Obviously, having a lot of the guys that are returning. Mosaic was named the #1 point guard in the country, so having a big-time player like that coming back is huge for you. Cooper Jackson's back for us, probably the best defender maybe in the country, but definitely in Kansas. We just have a lot of pieces coming back, and then we had a really good recruiting class.
We lost a lot of production from last year. We had a lot of sophomores, and they were all starters as freshmen. We have capable players that are returning, but we had to recruit a lot of kids. We had to recruit, basically every position twice to have enough depth and be able to try to repeat.
I thought it was a good atmosphere. I think I was actually very happy that this game will prepare us moving forward, because there's a lot of things that happened in this game that will happen a lot in our future games, and so I thought this was really good for us.
Warrior State was a good team, a good team to get our, bearings on. We were able to go out there, try some things, see how we work in the actual real game. And I feel like we grew today.
Here it comes. In there! And that does it! History in the desert! The Texas Rangers, for the first time ever, are World Series champs.
Truly is incredible. But it's not just me, man. What this team did and how we competed and all the guys in there rallying, we don't really have one leader. That whole clubhouse is a leader. They're all professionals in there, and we all knew we had a job and a task at hand, and we competed, and we did it.
Ditto for the Sports Day crew. It's not just one guy. We all team together. And by the way, that was Hesh with the open mic before the show got started. Welcome to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. Welcome in, Thursday show. We're football heavy today. Regional playoffs tomorrow. Wear your tank tops. It's going to be beautiful weather for football.
Definitely seen a lot worse.
Sun's out, guns out.
Yes, indeed. Aaron Clark with us, Mike Corson, and Mike Hesher.
Nothing to say now. He's all
now that the mics are actually supposed to be on.
shy.
I got other issues now than the mic on.
All right. Okay, there you go. Mission Control, Houston. Houston has a problem.
I would wear a tank top to the game down at Wichita, but I'm afraid somebody will tell me I got a string hanging and it'll be my gangly arm.
On the show today, football heavy, Great Bend Panther football coach Aaron Beck will be joined by super freshman Cale Kern, Cooper Omocht in studio. Panthers get set to take on Cape and Mount Carmel tomorrow night. Hoisington football coach Zach Baird, he's going to be in studio, joined by Mason Alderdice and Caden Hoffman. One day before the Cardinals square off against Beloit at Elton Brown Field. And J.D. Klima, head coach of the Central Plains Oilers, is going to be stopping by, preview their game down in Coldwater tomorrow night against South Central.
All sorts of good times in here in the studio.
Where's South Central, did you say?
Coldwater.
It's somewhere, it's around the way.
All right, let's get to our sounds of the past 24 hours or so. O.C. Kamara, Barton men's soccer coach, or Barton women's soccer coach, previewing today's district tournament semifinals, Region 6 Plains District tournament semifinals. They will be taking on Butler this afternoon, 1 o'clock kickoff at Cougar Field. It's going to be a glorious day for soccer today, and we'll see if they can move on into the championship on Sunday at Johnson County Community College, as just like the men did yesterday. How about the Cougar men? Loss and a draw against KCK. They went and took care of business early. 6-1. They knocked off KCK yesterday. So 17-1-3 on the year. Again, they will end up taking on Cowley. They played a couple classics this year, both 3-1, 2-1 Barton victories. And Cowley's pretty good, but, man, a chance to go to the national tournament for the Barton men's soccer team. Hopefully the Lady Cougars will move on to that position on Sunday. Okay, Barton volleyball last night. They ended up winning. They routed Seward County 25-13, 25-22, 25-16. So the Cougars 25-5. Now they get to host the semifinals and final match on Saturday and Sunday. On Saturday, the Lady Cougars will be taking on it's going to be Okay, who do they play Saturday?
Butler.
Butler, yeah. Butler's a 4 seed. And then Dodge City upset Hutchinson last night, so it'll be Dodge City and Colby in the first match at 4. Then the Lady Cougars will play at 6:30. Championship on Sunday at 2 p.m. $10 to get in and see the Region 6 volleyball this week.
I was sitting in the stands last night, got the news that Bob Knight had died, and I don't know that the Seward County coach knew about that, but Mike, you were there. We saw a demonstration. Got a little, I guess a yellow card or red card for volleyball coaches when they misbehave, not a technical foul, but kind of interesting. Didn't agree with the call, and
Some colorful language from the young lady.
You saying it wasn't a silent night?
No, it was not.
So congratulations to Lady Cougars. So they're 2 wins away from getting to a national tournament. Barton basketball. Jeremy Combs on the program yesterday. They're loaded. They're ready to go with a solid nucleus returning, a lot of talented freshmen. Mike Hesher, you saw him play against Sunrise Christian Academy last night, and Barton ended up eking out a win in that game, but it wasn't easy. That Sunrise Christian team's pretty good. What was your impressions about Barton?
I was very impressed with Barton. He got some dudes, as I'd like to say now, the returners, and there's also I can't pronounce his first name yet, but Jackie Jones' son performed very well as well.
How about that? Jackie Jones' son.
That makes us both feel old because I remember Jackie Jones.
I did his games. And he was in college, and I was out of college by then.
Well, you're older than I am. So.
Well, not by much. Not by much. We're the decrepit crew here at the radio station right now. Alan Clark, his team went to the national tournament last year, lost a lot of key pieces, but he's excited to see what they can do. Both those teams opening play at the Hutchinson Classic tomorrow. And Mike Hesher is going to be on the microphone tomorrow from the sports arena in Hutchinson. You ready to go?
I'm working on names. I'm feeling fairly comfortable with the names from the both schools.
I've heard some announcers, you just don't have to do names. Just go out there 15 over to 22, 22 down to 6. No, it doesn't work that way?
No, I've been taught by better people to not do that.
Okay, Northeastern Oklahoma A&M, NEO from Miami are going to be the opponent coming up tomorrow. Kansas coach Bill Self, his impressions of the Jayhawks 73-55 win over Fort Hays State last night, KU's final exhibition game before they host North Carolina Central on Monday night. DeJuan Harris with 8 assists in that game. Hunter Dickinson, I think KU fans will like him, 17 points. Kevin McCullough with 21 last night. The Jayhawks win. Kansas State also an exhibition game last night as they defeated Emporia State 102-68. Kansas State led in that game by Cam Carter. He had 20 points in the game. Gerald Colbert with 13, and Arthur Kaluma, who you heard from, he had 10 points, 4 rebounds. Thought they grew as a team last night.
was it the little freshman that had the windmill? Somebody had a really nice dunk.
Well,
And liven up a game that was maybe not that exciting to watch.
so a windmill dunk by a shorter player. I was watching that Game Warden show last night.
You're hooked.
I'm hooked.
Vikings now game wardens.
Yeah, we're getting ready for episode number 5 tomorrow. So a good start for KU and K-State. The final call on KVGB. Texas Rangers beat the Arizona Diamondbacks 5-0 to win the World Series in 5 games. Corey Seager, you heard from him, named the World Series MVP, his second after winning the award with the Dodgers in 2020. Said he couldn't do it alone. The Rangers, a losing record on the road during the regular season. I think they lost once.
I'd be curious to see some ratings on this particular World Series, given that kind of a couple dud teams.
Last I heard, it was the lowest they've had so far in the Fall Classic, yes.
Which is too bad because I think baseball made some strides this year on pace of play, length of games, things like that.
It
But
just
hey, you got to let
favored
the little guys get in
underdogs.
there. Yeah.
It's unfortunate because everyone in sports talks about wanting some parity, not wanting the same old teams, and then you get
The
some
TV guys, jumping off the
big
building
market
right now because
Yeah, you get some non-big market teams in, and suddenly no one cares about it because you can't sell the big storylines. But still a heck of a World Series for the Rangers. First win, third time in the World Series.
I thought they'd fold. I thought it was one of those stories that, that they're one of those smitten franchises that will never win. That's
Turned
not
it
the
around.
case, yeah. So,
And I saw something the other day. One of the last stadiums I got to visit was down in Arlington. Always loved that stadium. I guess it was like 20 years old when they rebuilt
Yeah,
a
build
completely new
another
thing.
one.
Yeah, 20 years on it's a joke.
And hats off to Dayton Moore, who is a consultant for the Rangers.
I told him the other day I probably should have picked Texas to win if I would have known Dayton Moore was down there.
how long's he been a consultant, though?
His first year, because Chris Young is the general manager, and Chris Young brought him in, former
Yeah, how
Royal
about
pitcher.
that? If Chris Young, it's a cool dude, out there, blue jeans, tennis shoes, just hanging loose. But if that's just 1 year he's been the consultant, isn't he usually on a 7 or 8 year plan?
He was when he was in Kansas City,
Okay,
yes.
right, okay.
He's getting better.
So what were the Royals' ratings? Now, they would have been good because they played the Mets when they won it. So I would think that'd be pretty good. But then I can't remember what the Royals' ratings were when they took on the Giants.
And that was an interesting couple of years. You got there the year before, and I think it won Game 7 against San Francisco. But then was 15 the year where the Royals fans loaded up the All-Star game with all 9 Royals. So there was a love-hate affair with Kansas City at that point.
Well, and the Royals came in, they were feisty. They were getting in fights every other series
Well,
with
you had
another
that guy,
team.
I'm going to throw the first pitch at your face.
Yordano Ventura.
That game. So there you go, sounds of the past 24 hours. Okay, the big news, Bob Knight passed away at the age of 83. Hesh, what do you remember about Bob Knight?
The chair throwing incidents, what I remember, and also he had some good teams. The undefeated team in '76, I believe it was, with Kent Benson as the man and Scott May as the hit that baseline jumper, I think it was.
Yeah. Well, he passed away. That was 1985 when he threw that chair across the floor at Purdue. Gene Cady, he was an angry guy too, but Knight made him look like a Sunday churchgoer for sure.
I think in the legacy, obviously the chair was a big one. It was on TV, but there's some physical altercations that are less fortunate. Here's a guy who preached control, but couldn't necessarily control his own actions. But at the same time, probably never see another undefeated season. 1976. Look at kind of the tree there. Coach K tops the list from Army.
Who have good things to say about him? I don't think I'd really want to play for him, but if you're looking for high graduation rates and never accused of a major NCAA violation.
What was funny, as I was reading a story, it said he never broke any NCAA rules because it must not be a rule that you can't strangle a teenager for some mishap.
That was
on the
alleged.
basketball
That was alleged. Did you see it? Did anyone else? Did anyone have their phones back then and taking a picture of that? Did it actually happen?
Well, who knows what else he was getting away with without the phones there.
I heard he went after radio people, too.
He just yelled once.
Yeah.
Well, once with superlatives, but
We were talking about this earlier after we discussed it this morning. You should have walked up and told him exactly why you were there and what right you had to be
well,
there.
it was at Texas Tech. I was just trying to set up for a basketball game there, and they're having practice. I wondered why everyone was out underneath beneath the arena, and then I walked in there, and then I knew. He was lucky that he was standing in the stands on the other side of the court, or I'd have come over there. Hey! What the blah, 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 blah you doing?
I wonder if he would have. Last year, you teamed up with Clark. You were making the tour at basketball games. Wonder if old Aaron had walked in, if he might have just minded his own business.
You would have known he was a college offensive tackle.
Yeah.
He probably wouldn't have
Choked
messed
him.
with him. But he let me go after I humbly told, well, Mr. Knight, I'm just a
Sit down. I want somebody to stand
Just
up.
a lonely radio
Oh, yeah, if I
guy.
was an animal, I would have rolled on my side, and my tail would have been between the legs. That would have been the impression that he would have saw from me had I been an animal.
And that's what we were talking too. Is that's exactly what he made people do and expected people to do. It just would have been talk about getting something on tape. See the first guy who decided, we're not doing this today.
Okay, but you're in there, and your goal is that you need to get your equipment set up so you can do a broadcast. I don't know if getting in a verbal or physical altercation with Bob, who was a huge dude, would have been the wise thing to do for. Sometimes you just got to swallow your words. Yeah, if I wasn't doing a game, I'd have gone over there.
Let me ask you: was he wearing the red sweater? No. Well, he would have been. He wore a vest maybe at Texas Tech.
He was the Red Raiders. He may have still had the red on.
He wasn't even coaching. His son was. He was up in the stands talking to some media guy.
It's like the hockey sweater. You pull it over his head, start swinging.
Yeah, you could have taken him. 100%. My money would be on Webby.
Yeah, that's my claim to fame. I got bellered at by a Hall of Famer. There you go.
Hesh finally got the camera working. Now you can see that Aaron and I coordinated. We're not Dolphins fans. It was just coincidence. Teal and orange.
We do have the colors today. Teal, orange.
Hesh looking sharp in stripes.
Well, I got a few. I got purple.
Oh, yeah, you got the horizontal stripes. We got the two categories.
Yeah,
but where's the Great Bend shirt at? The Panthers are coming in, and you don't have your Panthers shirt.
I wasn't here last week, so it doesn't matter what I wear. Okay. Oh,
I got mine.
Okay,
I got mine. This is the one I wore last week.
Thank you very much. I was going to text you this morning just for Coach Beck. Okay. Coach Beck is here. We're going to be talking with the freshman, Cale Kern, Cooper Omocht, and also Houston football, Central Plains football, all to come here on the Thursday edition of Sports Day on KVGB.
Central and Western Kansas. Check out our selection of new and pre-owned inventory. Marmy's friendly staff offers top quality service that you've gotten to know over the years. When your existing vehicle needs parts or service, our experienced team will get you back in the game this season. Marmy Chevrolet, GMC, Ford and Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep Ram, parts, service, and body shop. Visit Marmy Auto Group on 10th Street or marmys.net. Marmy's, make it happen.
Get started with a career in healthcare through Barton Community College's Pharmacy Technician program. Gain the skills you need to assist pharmacists with the day-to-day demands of a pharmacy. Classes are 100% online and include real-world experiences at a pharmacy near you. Join this essential field in as little as 2 semesters with the flexibility of online classes. Now enrolling. Learn more at pharmtech.bartoncccc.edu.
Smart stays on the road. That's why it's in your engine. Cenex Maxtron synthetic diesel engine oils give you the smartest oil for the toughest conditions. These premium oils maintain 80% of their viscosity throughout the drain interval for superior engine performance across extreme temperatures. That horizon looks good with the competition behind you. Cenex Maxtron diesel engine oils. Oil that runs smart.
Contact American Plains Co-op Fuel Department in Great Bend, your certified Cenex distributor today.
It's Panther football time on Sports Day as we present Great Bend football coach Aaron Beck. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Welcome back to Sports Day here on 1590 KVGB, 95.5 FM, the talk of the town. And Sports Day brought to you in part by Equity Bank. Right here beside you, equitybank.com, the American Plains Co-op Bulk Fuel Department, your certified Cenex lubricant dealer in Great Bend, and by Advanced Therapy and Sports Medicine. Get your life back. Head coach Aaron Beck joining us in studio today. Also Cale Kern and Cooper Omocht. Welcome to the program, guys. And I sent you a text last night. I just felt good about that game going into Salina Central. And, man, you said you felt good too, and it showed on the scoreboard. Congratulations, Coach. 38-24 in a game that, the score was not indicative maybe of what it could have been, ended up.
Yeah, it was a fun night for these guys. They just, they really came out. You could even feel it in pregame, and then obviously once the ball got kicked off, you just felt like our will was a little higher than theirs on this night, and these guys just wanted it. They just played their hearts out all 4 quarters, and like you said, gave up a score early, kind of teeter-tottered back and forth. Felt like they controlled the clock. Ran
a lot of plays.
4 times the amount of plays we did. But then, this young man right here next to me picks a ball, and it just kind of changed the whole momentum of the game. And then from then on out, you just felt like we were going to win that ball game.
Aaron, you remember when you going down to play Bueller, and after that game, I asked you, do you ever go into the games, it just things don't seem, right. What was it like heading to Salina last week?
That it was kind of a revenge tour for these guys.
Okay.
And an opportunity to go back to the place against the team that knocked us out the year before. And obviously these two young men weren't a part of that, but for the other guys in our locker room, you could tell there was a little sense of that Central has kind of had our number. That Salina Stadium has not been kind to the Panthers in the past, and it just felt like this was the time, and it was nice to see us go in there and kind of put together a dominating performance.
Did you know Coach Wells could dance?
Oh, geez, here we go.
No, I was just asking. I heard he put on a pretty good performance after the game. So
let's just say that's been going on for a while. They just somehow a camera got in there. We like to celebrate big wins and have fun with these kids, and coaches always get in there and have some fun with them, and that's part of it. I mean, that's the whole experience. If this game isn't fun and you're not feeling that passion and seeing it after a win, a big game like that, I mean, then maybe you need to find a new career. So love to see it. I mean, it was a fun opportunity.
You've had some big plays this year. Whether it's been returns, fumble, pick sixes, and this guy's Cooper's been there for some of those, right?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was sitting there thinking. I'm like, man, these two young men right here have made some game-changing plays, some game-altering plays, and you don't see that a lot of time. Obviously, as freshmen, but just to see it consistently, Cale has caused back-to-back weeks huge fumbles and recovered the one last week as Central's driving. That was just as equally a big play. You just don't. It's probably not as polarizing as a pick six, but
right.
Just one of those type of plays that kept points off the board, and then Coops obviously put points on the board, and he also blocked the PAT after their first touchdown. So it's just those type of plays that you love to see, and thought these guys needed to be talked about a little bit here.
Cale, tell me about the fumble recovery.
I don't. What do you mean?
Tell me about the play.
What did they run?
The turnover.
They ran an inside zone, and I seen it, and I went and I made a tackle and wrapped up, and I just ripped the ball.
That probably made you pretty happy when you see it pop out on the ground like that.
Yeah, I didn't see it. I felt it on my back.
Okay.
I was laying on it.
Cooper, tell me about the pick six.
I just knew as soon as I saw Aiden chasing him down. Aiden obviously forced it out, and then the quarterback just kind of made a bad decision, threw it right to me. And I remember from Hayes, I needed to catch the ball before I could run. So.
He's a smart kid. He learns. He's pretty cerebral like that, and knows exactly what's happening in front of him, just like you said, with Aiden chasing him down and flushed out of the pocket. And, I thought his patience on the return and MJ making a huge block, everybody on the sideline knew it's changed the scoreboard. He's gone just because he's so fast in the open field.
The block on the kick, was that something that you saw during the weekend, kind of some play called for that? Tell me about that one, Coop.
Yeah, every day we kind of have a plan going in. If we go right one week, we'll do something else to try and help us get an advantage. Just little things like that can really change the game, and I just kind of timed it right and got lucky, I guess.
What were you doing at this time last year?
Probably not very much.
Okay. But, I mean, you're in 8th grade.
Yeah.
Right? I mean,
yeah.
What were your visions of, okay, boy, next year I get to go up and play some JV games and stuff, and maybe see if I can contribute a little bit.
Yeah, very nervous. I didn't expect it to turn out like this, I can say that.
Cale, what about your 8th grade year? Were you thinking, okay, next year I'm going to jump right in there and be part of all the fun?
Not really. I didn't really expect to start. Maybe play a little bit, but not really.
What gave you the confidence, Cooper, to get in there and say, okay, I can be a contributor on this team, just to go in? And obviously you've been huge for that, but how do you mentally get ready for that?
Yeah, obviously just the guys helping me out, MJ, all the leaders of the team, just telling me that I can do it, and then just me believing in myself that I can go out there and showcase the talents that I have.
For you, Cale, what gave you
I'd say the same
confidence?
thing. The seniors, they really help out. My older brother, he helps a lot too. Just them telling me I can do it helps a lot.
So, did you have any like backyard football games growing up?
Yeah, we played.
Did anyone want to come over and play the Kerns, or what? How'd that go?
We grew up playing the Kaisers.
Oh, is that right?
Yeah, wiffle ball and football.
And that's been rugged. So, tell me about those games. Who usually won?
Trenton and Noah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they split the teams up. Okay, I see how it goes. Okay. You looking ahead to this game coming up? I mean, just how excited are you, Cooper? I mean,
yeah, it's the second round. I'm just glad we got here, and we just got to go do what we've been doing.
Kale, you've been getting ready for this game all week, and you look at Capon, and what have you seen from them that you'll be thinking about tomorrow night tomorrow on the drive down there to get ready to take on the Crusaders?
I just feel good. Know we got to stop the run. Hope if our offense contributes, I think we got a really good chance.
For you, Cooper, what do you think?
Our defense just got to keep playing the way we have, and then set some stuff up for the offense, and they're going to go down there and do what they can do.
Aaron, I've just continued to be amazed at the amount of contributions that we're not. I mean, here in Great Bend, obviously, it's been phenomenal, but other places. I mean, back in my day, we never played when you were a freshman. I played at a 1A school. These guys are doing it at a 5A level.
Yeah, you kind of talked about what they were doing last year. I don't remember the game it was, but standing over on the visitor side watching these guys as 8th graders, and I watched Cooper one time in the pocket just have complete composure and confidence and sling a ball and make a dude miss, and I'm just like, that kid. And then they score a touchdown, and then Kale on the kickoff. Did you kick off? He kicks off and runs down there and just kills a kid. And it was just kind of like, oh, both these kids can play. And it obviously you never know how it's going to work out, but then we go to camp. These two go with us. Kale's kind of fighting an ankle injury, but there was just no way we were going to keep him off the field. He was just around the ball all the time, just making plays. And he's got some kind of knack with that club to force fumbles like I've never seen. His punch is pretty impressive. So they've just done an outstanding job for us. And like you said, you don't always envision it, but when you got special ones, and we kind of had them back-to-back years here with Ian and Trent last year, and then now these guys this year, maybe can continue.
One thing that's interesting is that the freshmen who come in and play, and they said the same thing last year with Trent, same way. That's a tribute to your upperclassmen, your juniors, maybe your seniors that, might feel a little bit of threatened by young guys coming in and challenging them for things, but that hasn't been the case. It seems like they took them under their wing. That's a tribute to your older kids.
Well, and that's what I noticed with these two, especially Kale. He gets along with all of them so well. They all just love on each other, hug each other, joke around with each other. I mean, they're just part of the team. They're not really looked at as freshmen. I don't feel it at all. And maybe that's a little bit him having an older brother, that kind of thing. But our senior leaders, our older kids have done a great job of getting contributions from all 4 classes, and that's what you need at this time of year. It's kind of funny. I bring these 2 freshmen in, and you look on the opposing roster, 25 seniors that Capon rolls out there is a pretty impressive number. I think they got 9 on offense, maybe 8 on defense. So a senior-led team but these guys aren't freshmen anymore. You can just tell in their composure. I asked them if they were nervous coming in here, and they're both like, no. That's just kind of how they are. Nothing's too big for them, so I'm excited to see them tomorrow night.
Big one tomorrow night, obviously, and Weston Charts had a chance to know him when I was down in Wichita. I really liked Weston. He's kind of an old school guy, but now he's over at Capon and doing what he's always done, but doing it at an even higher level, I think.
Yeah, he's always taken kind of an old school approach to the game of football. They line up in double tight, power eye, gonna run, trap, toss, power, little play action here and there. Defensively, they are long, they are athletic, they are fast, and they're good. They've done a nice job building their roster down there. I can say that. And I've said it and I'll say it again that I think the 5A West kind of goes through Cape, and we just got to do it in round 2 here. And I think if anybody's going to knock them off, it's a team that's got a defense that can hopefully slow down that run game. And I think ours is every bit as capable as anybody in the state right now. So a lot of confidence in those guys. And like these two both said, we got to make sure we make plays offensively when we have the opportunity to, because they may be a little fewer and far between. Just making sure we're trying to do everything we can to help our defense out tomorrow.
They've got a D1 commit headed to Air Force, had a tremendous year in the backfield for them. What's the key to trying to slow him down a little bit?
Swarm to the ball, and that's kind of been our defensive model all year. But tomorrow, swarm and then tackling. That's probably the thing that I see him more than anything is breaking tackles, yards after contact, spinning out. I've never seen anybody hit, what do you guys call it, the Y button? Which one is it?
Triangle. Triangle button. Okay.
Hit the triangle more than this young man, and he's pretty powerful. And they have some pretty good kids all over the place. Not just him. They got some D1 type of caliber kids on both sides of the ball. So it'll be a challenge. It'll be fun. It's going to be a great atmosphere. Beautiful night. Playing at Southeast High School. It's kind of a cool historic. I think I told these guys the game's being broadcast on Cox 22, and they have it on the app so people can watch and listen to the commentary, and it should be a fun night.
So I was asked this to guys who come in here. I'd like to ask them, 30 minutes before the game, but what are you feeling right now, Cale, about this matchup tomorrow?
I feel good. I think we got a really good chance.
Cooper?
Yeah, we're just gonna keep playing the way we play, and I think we'll play even harder now, and hopefully get us another win.
Okay, once you get all practice done, then you're on your way home tonight. You get that little quiet time. What will the coach be thinking about?
Yeah, just going through everything, how to do everything we can as coaches to make sure we put them in positions to succeed. I mean, that's the challenge, and that's really a challenge when you play a defense like Capen's, trying to do everything you can to try to create mismatches, as defense has kept me up quite a bit this week, and rightfully so at this time of year. But I love these kids, and I love this team right now, and I'll put them against anyone, and let's go see what happens.
Well, it's always a good judge of how good your football season is going is when you get into that time when it's dark before practice is over with, and you're really close to that.
Yep.
Now.
We need one more week here.
One more week.
Right. You always want one more, and this is the one more right now, and let's try to go 1-0.
Aaron, thanks.
All right, thanks.
Cooper, thanks for coming in. Cale, good luck tomorrow night.
Yep.
Sports Day, Great Bend Panthers taking on the Cape and Mount Carmel Crusaders. Coverage on B1043. The Point starting tomorrow night at 6:30. Hoisted football in here next on Sports Day.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Amy Herrera, Regional Retail Manager for your local Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many people navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you how we're committed to serving you in our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
You don't have to be a pro to capture memories this holiday season. At Nextech Wireless, get the latest phones to share those precious moments. For a limited time, get the new iPhone 15 or Samsung Galaxy S23 on us. Nextech Wireless, home on the range.
Hey everyone, this is Cole Ryan, voice of the Barton Cougars. Attending sporting events for Barton Community College is great, but did you know you can support the athletic teams even further by getting involved with the Cougar Booster Club? The Boosters help with fundraising for equipment and facility upgrades to give Barton athletes every opportunity to keep succeeding at the regional and national levels. Join the Cougar Booster Club as an individual or business. Call 620-792-9377. Become a booster today. Go Cougars.
Venture Corporation is a homegrown company with almost 50 years of experience in asphalt, paving, and construction, and they need equipment operators, mechanics, and CDL drivers. Venture offers many benefits, including 401k and Blue Cross Blue Shield health insurance. Call Leslie for all the details. Work for a family-owned and family-oriented company that is here today and will be here in the future. Venture Corporation, South Highway 281, Great Bend, is an equal opportunity employer.
Sports Day is presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department. Sports Day on 1590 KBGB and 95.5 FM.
And welcome on back into Sports Day this afternoon. Aaron Clark sitting down with some Hoisington Cardinals in studio. Head coach Zach Baird back in here. Thanks for joining me again this week. There we go.
There we go. Thanks for having us.
Glad to have you here. And two new Cardinals in this week, Mason Alderdice and Caden Hoffman. Fellas, glad to have you in the studio.
Thank you.
So first things first, you guys are coming off of a pretty nice win last week against Phillipsburg. We're able to get a first-round win, 48-6. Coach Baird, we'll start with you. What were your first impressions from that game?
I thought we played really well, especially early. I thought, we were cut in, we were focused. I thought we played extremely hard. There were a little bit of jitters, like there always is in that first playoff game. Able to get those out of the way, and then it was felt like we played pretty solid early. And I thought as the game wore on a little bit, and maybe it came, out of question on who was going to win. I thought maybe we got a little bit lax at times, which you try to nip that in the bud as soon as possible. But really proud of the guys' effort and the mental focus that we approached the game with.
And so your team was able to put up some real impressive running numbers on really not an impressive number of carries. Speak about the rushing attack. You posted almost 400 yards, 389 on just 17 carries. What was your attack plan there?
Yeah, obviously I thought the O-line did a really good job. I thought we were able to stay on blocks, and we communicated and executed up front. I thought Tony did a good job in the read series and made good decisions for the most part. And then I thought our backs, whether they had the ball or whether they're blocking, I thought all of those guys were good in assignment and execution. And, after the game to find out that we didn't run it as much as what I thought during the game was a little surprising, actually. I thought Taryn carried the ball more than 6 times. But, we didn't throw it extremely well on Friday. That's something we need to continue to do a better job of. But really proud of how we executed in the run game.
And so now moving it over, Caden, those rushing totals, that's got to make you feel pretty good up on the offensive line.
Yeah, no, it makes me feel happy. Getting those rushing yards, especially when the O-line all communicates and block, if we get our perfect blocking assignment, it would be good.
And so what goes into producing that many yards, the communication you talk about, what steps has the offensive line taken this year to be able to put that product on the field?
Just our coaching, our Matthew Kelch, what we call him, Coach Kelch. He does a really good job coaching us. He tells us what we need to do. He tries to keep us in line and make sure we get to our assignment no matter what.
And so, Mason, you were involved in that rushing attack, but you also were just kind of putting up yards all over the field. What is your role in this Cardinal offense?
My role is pretty special. I get to help out everywhere, which is pretty nice to do. But I wouldn't be able to produce the way I do if I didn't have the big boys up front. It's pretty what makes us all go.
And how long have you been playing with some of those big boys up front?
All my life.
That's the nice part about playing football in a smaller town. You get some of those connections, guys you've been playing with, running behind since you were in 3rd grade, however young you guys started. But turning our attention now towards next week, you got Beloit coming up. And now, Coach Baird, you haven't played them last year, but a bit of history in the past with Beloit. What are you expecting to see from the Trojans this week?
Anytime you see Beloit, you're going to see a big physical football team that's going to run the football, and that's the case this year as well. I think they've battled through some injuries. I think they're getting some guys back, but they're going to do a good job of being physical. And for us defensively, it's we got to get a line to sign in a hurry. We've got to make sure we're fitting our gaps, getting off blocks, and getting as many hands to the football as possible. They're going to play fast. They're not going to take many shots. The shots they do are going to be deep shots, and so as a secondary guy, you've got to stay disciplined, even though you're not getting a ton of action. At some point in time, it's going to come. And they do a good job of disguising it and throwing it off play action a lot. So they present a lot of challenges.
Moving into the second round of the playoffs, starting to get a little more build up here. Game's going to get a little more intense. How do you combat that in practice leading up to a game, not getting out over your skis, maybe making sure you play within yourselves?
I think if you approach it from week one, like your preparation is your preparation, and things don't change, then it's just what you do. I think at this time of year we dial back what we do in practice as far as physicality goes, and it's more mental. But our preparation doesn't change. It's we're still in the weight room just like we normally would be. I mean, everything stays the course, and each week you advance in the playoffs, you're going to see better and better teams, and with those better teams, a lot of times you'll see a guy or two that's really special, and Beloit has that. I think the Waters kid is a really good football player. So that's the fun thing about it. You see challenges and you see athletes and players that maybe you don't see during the regular season, but your preparation doesn't change. Our practices are the exact same and whatnot. So it's exciting. This is what everything builds towards.
And so, Caden, coming up playing Beloit, you've played them before, I believe, when you were younger on the roster. What are you expecting to see up front on the offensive line against the Trojans?
Big physical guys. I mean, they're always up front. Like my sophomore year, they had one special dude called Grady. I don't remember his last name, but he was a big guy. He's up at KU right now. But they always have some big physical guys. They're usually pretty tall, and I'm just expecting to see a lot of tall guys.
They play 3-man or 4-man front?
I think 4-man.
Get a full 4-man front. That's a little tougher to run against, maybe. Got some different rules on it. How does that impact Hoisington's run game going against that 4-man?
We're not going to be able to hit it up the middle as much as we'd like, but we're going to hit it a little bit towards the outside. But, I mean, that's really it.
And so, Mason, now looking at your role coming up against Beloit, what are you expecting to do against the Trojans in that special role like you talked about, kind of getting to help out in all aspects of the game? What's going to be key for you against the Trojans?
Helping my teammates out the best I can. Hitting the edge, catching a ball, blocking. It all contributes to our success.
What's the difference in mindset on a play for you when you're maybe going to be getting the ball kind of as a ball carrier versus when you're more of a nose to the dirt, having to block, be that leading on the edge?
When I'm running the ball, I just make sure to hang on to it the best I can and hit a hole hard, because if I wait, I'm a smaller guy, I'm going to get clocked.
I was going to say, we got a nice little dichotomy here between Caden and Mason.
It's like Mutt and Jeff.
There you go. Makes riding over together a little bit easier, you can plenty of space for the big boy. But, Coach, with every game now as either win or advance, what are maybe your final thoughts now heading against Beloit?
The thing we're going to tell our guys is nothing changes. Just go do what you do and do it to the best of your abilities and have fun playing with one another and let chips fall where they may. Try to stress to them as much as possible that success is in the preparation. So, these guys have worked hard all summer. They've worked hard all season. We've had a great week of preparation. So, trust in it, cut it loose, believe in yourself, and go have fun.
All right, now, 2 seniors here. Want to ask you both, every game, win or go home. Caden, what does it mean for you to be able to put on that Cardinal helmet?
Oh, it's everything. I love the sport, love football, love the community that surrounds our football group. And just, if I don't know what I'd do without it.
And Mason?
It's the best culture I've ever been a part of. You can't get any better than this, playing side by side with your teammates and your brothers all your life. There's nothing better.
That is head coach of the Hoisington Cardinals, Zach Baird, along with Mason Alderdice and Caden Hoffman. Fellas, good luck this week against Beloit.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, man.
We'll have more Sports Day coming up right after this.
From the Mayo Money Management Studios, 1590 KVGB Great Bend and 95.5 FM K238CK Hoisington.
When it comes to car maintenance, it's good to know a local guy that can get things done. The Eller family has been in the auto repair business in Great Bend forever. Greg Eller continues that long tradition of helping people. Eller Automotive Repair specializes in wheel alignments, oil changes, and general maintenance for all makes and models of cars and small trucks. Open 8 to 5 Monday through Thursday, 8 to 4 Fridays. Eller Automotive Repair at 915 Morton, right behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source, 10th and Morton.
If you need physical therapy, consider Advanced Therapy in Great Bend and Progressive Therapy in Larned and Hayes.
We had a lady that was having some severe back and hip pain, and we worked with her for about 6 to 7 weeks, and we were able to actually restore greater than 80% of her mobility, and we were able to keep her from actually needing that surgery for about 4 years.
You don't need to hurt. Physical therapy can help. Call Advanced or Progressive Therapy and Sports Medicine to explore your treatment options and get your life back.
Community bankers should actually know your community. Hi, I'm Zach Strite, commercial lender for Equity Bank. As someone who lives here, I know many of you, and I know what's important to you. I've been in the industry a long time, and I've helped many navigate through financial challenges and lead them to financial opportunities. I believe that people bank with people. I'd like to invite you to stop by one of our region's 5 locations and meet our friendly, helpful staff. Let us show you our commitment to serving you and our communities. At Equity Bank, we're right here beside you. Member FDIC.
It's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Sports Day on KVGB also brought to you in part by the Venture Corporation. Reminding you to help a neighbor, shop local when you can, and Eller Automotive Repair, a local mechanic that can help behind Great Bend Appliance, Furniture, and Sleep Source. Well, high school football playoff previews continue, and the Central Plains Oilers head to Coldwater tomorrow night to take on South Central. Head coach J.D. Klima with us right now. His team's 7-2 on the season. And you went to the Great White North last Friday night, taking on Thunder Ridge, and wow, what a performance by your team. You go out and win that ball game big, JD. That heck of a performance by your team.
Yeah, I mean, we kids were focused last week. They were pretty focused, and you see it in them all week. And then I was a little nervous on a 3-hour bus ride up there,
Yeah.
but stopped and did a little stretching, and they come out and got after it. So it was a heck of a win.
Tell me about how the game went. Did you jump on them earlier? And
Yeah, just right. I think actually we scored on them. We scored on them right there. It all comes and goes
Yeah,
here.
sure.
But we scored on them right away. They fired back, and on I think it was some kind of fullback pass there, and scored on it. And then after that, it was lights out. We decided we were going to cover that one up and just ran away with it.
So you got home early then, earlier than expected then,
Well,
right?
we got home at midnight instead of 2.
Oh,
so.
okay. Well, that's okay though.
Yeah.
So did the game end at halftime then?
Right in the first part of the third quarter there. It was, a couple, 2-3 minutes in, and we went ahead and finished it off. So
Let's see. I have to figure up the math here on this. 158 divided by 2. Yeah, you've put some points on the board the last 2 weeks. 102 in Week 8 over Reno County Homeschool. JD, you see this team improving as you've gone along this season?
Yes, we most definitely. Sorry about that. We most definitely have. Yeah, now I'm a little flustered there, but for dang sure. I mean, we first 3 games were good, and then the fourth one kind of went bad, and the third one not as well as we wanted to, and then but you could steadily see even after taking a little bit of a butt whipping, you could steadily see the team just getting better and stronger and smarter and wanting to go a little harder, even though they were going hard before, but they're going really hard now. So
Yeah, sometimes it's good. You go to the Victoria, you see that level and intensity, and then you came back. I mean, that Sylvan Lucas game was a pretty good contest, but yeah, those 2 games in the middle of the season back to back. I guess you need to lose your confidence through that or gain confidence through a loss. So it seems like you got the confidence going after a couple tough setbacks against really good teams.
yeah, and we had that discussion there in film on one of the days. Are we going to be the team to fall to a couple losses, or are we going to build off of it and run with it? And they've chosen to run with it here. So,
What part of your game, offense, defense, has improved the most this year? Maybe specific. I mean, your line or the quarterback player. Or what's improved the most in your mind?
in mine, there's been so much that's improved. Our O-line they've been pretty dang good since the start of it, and then Brody being young, he's come a long ways, but then you take defensively, we took some points there against Reno, but we come back and don't allow any points. So I think our defense is really they're really, really coming along. I think that's probably one of our biggest improvements so far is probably defensively.
It's so hard to tell because, Thunder Ridge, I mean, they made it the, state championship game a year ago, and it's been a pretty good year for 8-man football up in northwest Kansas. So, man, to go up there and win a game like that, again, that was really, really impressive.
Yeah, I can't say. And I looked at the coaches on the way off the football field, and I said, did any one of you guys see that coming? And one of them piped up and said, well, I knew we were better than them, but I didn't know we were that much better than them. So it was a shocker. I mean, we knew they were a good team. We knew we were going to go up there and have a dogfight. But when those kids want to move, they can move. When they want to move the ball, they'll move the ball. And if they want to shut you out, they can give you a heck of a shot at it anyways. So.
Okay, go to Coldwater. South Central coming up on, back in my days, it was Coldwater Eagles, and they were red. Okay, so now they got the green colors. They're kind of the same as Central play. They're a lot like you. Young team last year and took some lumps and have made a big stride forward this year. So you guys are kind of the same in many ways.
Yeah, and they like to pound the football there. I think their quarterback rushes. I don't know, Kansas pregame come out. He has 134 yards a game, averages, and 30-some yards passing. So he's kind of their go-to guy, and they're definitely a guy we're looking at there. So.
Talk about them on offense. You said they like to pound it a lot. Do their passing yards come off play action, or what do you got to be ready for?
With them, about anything. They're the same, about the same as us. I mean, they just if you can run it, they're going to run it. I mean, they do quite a bit of play action there, and going over scout cards and stuff this week. They do a fair amount of that. So
defensively, what do they like to do?
Like to stack it on the line there and just come at you. I mean, I think they run a lot of four-man. It's a weird four-man front, but then sometimes they'll get in I call it a weird two-man front. Everybody's got a different name for what they call it, but they can switch it up there too, and they've been successful at both of them. What's
been the message to the team this week, JD?
I had it in my mind when I came in here, but it just we proved so much this year, and I went over this, and we proved so much to so many people this year. I think more of our message right now is we're done proving. We're going to go do it for ourselves. Is just let's go do something for ourselves. Let's go prove to ourselves that we're capable of making a run at the state here. So.
And it's kind of rewarding to see, you start off the season, then you go through a couple. You've probably seen these kids change a lot over just a couple months, right?
Oh yeah, they're definitely goofy, but yeah, even just to growing into football players, you just see a lot of them. At the beginning of the year, a lot of questions, and now they're stepping over and telling the kid, what he's doing wrong, or the varsity's stepping up to the JV. We got JV running at them, and they're stepping up and saying, hey, give me a better look. So the kids have really come around. They've really become one. Versus in the beginning of the year it was a little different, but not too bad. But they've come together very well. So.
Talk about you and your staff. Jumping in there this first year, and then look what you guys have cooked up so far. That's got to be pretty satisfying as well.
It is, and I think I said this the last time I was in here. I can't take too much credit because those three guys, they do so much. I know I have sleepless nights, but I know they have sleepless nights because my phone sets over there, ding, ding. So those guys have just been great. And then, and just working together. Everybody just works together. There's everybody has a job, but at the end of the day, we're all doing it together. And so I cannot speak highly enough about those other three guys with me because they're really good at what they do. I can tell you that. So.
Well, I mentioned it to Aaron. It's always a great time of year, especially come out and get another chance to play. And next week practice ends, and it's going to be dark. That's what you want to do. So what are you feeling right now? What are you feeling going into this game?
The nerves are always there, but I'm scouting them and watching them. I think we got a pretty good shot. If we come out and we want to play, I don't think there'll be too many questions asked there. But if we want to let them get in the ball game, then we're going to have some issues. But they continue to do what they've done the last 2 or 3 games. We're going to be in good shape. So
it's going to be a lot of green down there, not only on the home side, but probably on the visitor side tomorrow night too.
Yes, there will. Yeah. Yep. There definitely will be that. So, but yeah.
JD, thanks for coming in today. Good luck tomorrow, and hopefully we can have you back over here tomorrow talking about a sectional matchup next week.
Hey, that'd be great.
Okay, J.D. Klima, head coach of the Central Plains Oilers. They take on South Central tomorrow night down in Coldwater. Sports Day rolling on after this.
Get started with a career in healthcare through Barton Community College's Pharmacy Technician program. Gain the skills you need to assist pharmacists with the day-to-day demands of a pharmacy. Classes are 100% online and include real-world experiences at a pharmacy near you. Join this essential field in as little as 2 semesters with the flexibility of online classes. Now enrolling. Learn more at pharmtech.bartoncccc.edu.
If you're hiring, it can feel like you're trying to find a needle in a haystack. You can hope the right person comes along, or you can just use ZipRecruiter. And now you can try it for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. In fact, ZipRecruiter has helped a lot of business owners find their needle in a haystack, like Marco, president of operations at Telly Tires and Auto Centers. Because Telly Tires has grown a lot in the last few years, Marco needed to hire everyone from a receptionist to a store manager to a head mechanic.
ZipRecruiter helps me find all the right people, even the most difficult jobs to fill. ZipRecruiter helps me keep my business running.
Take it from Marco and millions of other businesses who've used ZipRecruiter. ZipRecruiter can help you find the needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free. At ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/FREE. ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire.
Now, in its second decade, it's Sports Day on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM. Presented by Barton Community College and the Cougar Athletic Department.
Sports Day also brought to you in part by Eller Automotive Repair, a local mechanic that can help behind Grape Bend Appliance Furniture and Sleep Source, and by the Venture Corporation, reminding you to help a neighbor shop local when you can. We really appreciate all our local sponsors helping us bring you some local sports talk during the week. And, yeah, really appreciate everybody that's jumped on board to help bring you Sports Day here on a Monday through Friday basis, except during the summertime. And
it's the worst time of year. It's no Sports Day.
Aaron, what been digging into Capon? I know a lot more. What have you learned this week about Capon?
We talked a lot last week about Great Bend stopping a top-rate offense against Salina Central. Gonna be another tall bill for the Panthers this week. That Capon offense, led largely by Amari Elias, the running back who's committed to Air Force, has put up over 450 points and allowed under 200. So Capon not only cranking out on offense, a pretty stout defense as well. Panthers going to be looking to score more than 21 points. If they can do that, that'll be the first time Capon surrenders more than 3 touchdowns since week 3 when the Crusaders played the Wichita Northwest Wolverines. I want to say, I can't think, Grizzlies. That's what it is, Northwest Grizzlies.
But they look like
the Michigan Wolverines. Yeah. That's what I was thinking. So Great Bend defense going to need to stand up, but we've seen the Panthers really achieve some incredible plays on defense this week. Excited to see if they can't keep it rolling on Friday.
You got a soccer score, Hash? Okay. Barton soccer going on right now. Lady Cougars taking on Butler.
They were having internet problems yesterday, so I apologize to Brandon and Todd yesterday.
The Barton women lead 1-0 with 28 minutes, 36 seconds to go in the first half after a goal by Norshi.
I love it. Wouldn't it be great to all 3 teams, both soccer teams, the volleyball team, move into national tournament. Talk to you tomorrow on Sports Day.
Agriculture Today on 1590 KVGB and 95.5 FM is brought to you by the American Plains Co-op, your local grain, feed, energy, seed, agronomy, and retail co-op with a rich history of tradition within our communities.